everybody, my name is Spammals and welcome back to Magnificent Ships. Coming up tonight, we have but one ship left to explore, I'm sorry to say, but arguably I've left the best to last. So, without any more stalling, let's begin! Welcome to the game! So, I'm recording this quite late at night, so I might not be as loud and boisterous as I normally am, and hence I'm sat down in a webcam. Maybe I'm just proving you can play this seated. Anyway, this is HMS Victory. It's the first-rate ship in the line built during the Georgian period here in England. I'm going to do a 360 whilst giving you a little bit of history, but by no means am I an expert, okay? It's just a little couple of things I picked up over the years because I've been to see her many times. Anyway, she was ordered in 1758. The keel was laid in 1759 and she was eventually launched in 1765. Funny story about that, she was too big for the dry dock. The gate to get out was 9 inches too narrow, so they had to etch away at the side of it, make it wider for her to slip away. Anyway, at the time, funny enough, brand new ship, she wasn't needed right away, so she spent 13 years tied up, just kind of waiting for action. But action came calling, and she was a-hauling. Oh, look at that. I didn't think about this. Hang on. Let's go to the bow, and then I'll... Woosha-doosha! Look at that! This game never fails to amaze me. Hang on, I do all that... Blah, 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 blah. I like it a lot. What's the... Ow, banged my head. Seeing so many modern ships with propellers and stuff is interesting to see a wooden beauty such as Victory. Anyway, she was called into service as a flagship. Let's go up on deck. Whee! She was called into service in 1778. 13 years after 65. Yeah, that makes sense, right? 1778 she was called into service, and as the flagship nonetheless. And since then, over the next 5 years, she took part in a handful of battles, including the Siege of Gibraltar, to the Battle of Ushon, or something like that. I can't quite remember. But most popularly remembered, arguably so, as being Vice Admiral Nelson's flagship during the Battle of Trafalgar. That's an interesting story in itself because, well, the Battle of Trafalgar was in October 21st, 1805, and it was a Britain versus France and Spain. Britain had 27 ships in the line versus a combined 33 for France and Spain. So although Britain was outnumbered, they did emerge victorious, but it came at a great cost because, well, Victory was heavily damaged in the battle, but more notably, Vice Admiral Nelson, he was shot and killed at this very spot. I turn away from the camera for a bit. He was stood exactly here when he was mortally shot through the shoulder and into his spine. On the ship today, there's a plaque in the boards below saying he was shot exactly here. Wasn't killed on the spot, he was taken down below decks, and then he died shortly after. His final words were, "Kiss me," or "Kismet." I'm not quite sure, and I don't think anyone truly is. But anyway, funny story leading up to this. The ship was towed to Gibraltar for repairs before returning to England, and it took with her the corpse of Nelson. Of course, a ship like this isn't really built or provisioned for hauling bodies, especially in the heat of the Mediterranean. So they put him in a cask of brandy or rum, one of the two. But the thing is, when they got back to England and they opened up the cask, they found it to be completely empty. His body was there, but there was no rum or brandy to be seen. So they took his body out, they inspected the cask, and they found a hole had been drilled into it. The crew members on board had drunk the barrel dry. It came to the name Tapping the Admiral. Now, when they spoke to the crew, they remarked on how the rum had a full body flavour. Ha 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 ha. There you go, that's a true story. I don't know, I don't think I'd be quite happy doing that, but I guess if you're desperate for a drink, you're desperate, right? Anyway, as I said in the intro, she is still with us today after the Battle of Trafalgar. She went on against the odds to survive other battles and then being made a depot ship in Portsmouth, a cadet ship, and she got rammed and was in risk of sinking. But she survived against the odds and she is preserved today at the Portsmouth Historic Dockyards. And as I said, I've been many times. It is an amazing day out. If you come to England or live in England and have never been, I highly recommend it because she is a gorgeous, amazing ship. Preservation work to this day continues. Here, we can see her full abreast of all of her mighty sails. Well, the dry dock she's in, she's kind of got these supports holding the hull up. She's not floating, sadly. And she's too heavy, and the supports aren't good enough. She was damaging herself. So in order to reduce the weight, the sails have been removed, but they will be returned. They know exactly what they got to do to support her better. and it'll all be coming back. But you can explore the whole ship from the deck spaces above to the interior decks down below. Now, sadly, like the other ships here in Magnificent Ships, we can't, well, oh! Well, fancy that! Shut up, Spammals, you're talking shit! Okay, well, it's minimalistic at best, but for a change, we can partially explore below the decks here on HMS Victory. Now, her special ability, you probably guessed it, is cannon fire. Whoop. Oh! A woosha doosha! We'll see that from the outside in a moment. Well, there you go. We're getting full dual broadsides going off. That's amazing. I don't think we can... Oh. Hi. Hi. That's nice. Boosh, back down. We can't really go much lower into the ship, I imagine. Back it up. Come on. Work with me, game. Oh, damn it. My chair is too large to go down. You're not supposed to go any lower, but it is representative in the size because, well, you can't really stand up and walk below decks. You're banging your head, and the deeper you go, the lower the ceiling gets. It's mental. Whee! Back on deck. I've been here. I've seen this. And it's so nice to see it actually at sea rather than dry dock. But it's an amazing day out. I can't wait for her to get her sails back. What else is there to see or say? I mean, this is HMS Victory. She's still actually an active ship of the Royal Navy, although it's not, to be honest. Yes, it's still on the books, it's still active, but it's a museum ship, and that's it. It will never go back in water, it will never see battle. That'd be quite a sight to see, though. You know, all the modern ships in the world are having a bit of a battle somewhere, and all of a sudden this thing rocks over the horizon. What's up, bitches? Did somebody call for some victory? See, back here, you got cabins, and you can actually go into them and stuff like that. Not here, but in real life. They're literally, the whole ship is opened up. One of the most magnificent things about Victory is the stern. Because it's fucking beautiful. Look at that. Victory. It's actually pretty neat. In the dry dock she's at, there's the gate for the dry docks where my controllers are, and you can walk across it, so you can get proper views like this, like right up against the back of the stern. And it's freaking gorgeous. I forget which deck it's on, but you can get into these end cabins, and one of them, it's a gorgeous, widespread room. But on the end of it, there's these two kind of balconies, and it's got a toilet just there. So really, you should see... Nah, you can't. We should see a poop chute at the bottom somewhere. But it's kind of like a 1700s version of a balcony cabin, only it's made for shitting. And also, I've noticed in the previous videos my head bobble being quite extreme, so I'm making an extra effort to keep my head bobble as steady as I can. As far as the broadside, a woosha doosha. Here it comes. A boom! Now, what's nice is, I don't know the last time they did it, and I don't know when it's going to happen again, but they have actually done some broadside fire shows in the dry dock. Obviously firing blanks. But they rig it all up and you can see it. There's videos on YouTube and it's absolutely amazing. There's a story of the last captain before it actually left service, and he signed the order for it to be scrapped. And his wife at the time like burst into tears, like, no, you can't be doing this, I love that ship. And it's only a rumour, but he went back down and he cancelled the order to scrap it. And no one can verify this if it is actually truth or not, but what is true is that the order list for that day, in the order book, that page is missing. It's been ripped out. So who knows? Maybe it is true. Oh, the figurehead. I do love these ships. I mean, it's a show of strength, but it's also a show of wealth and power. They're beautiful as well as they are deadly. Well, I don't know what else to say. I'm not an expert, as I said. I'm just enjoying this game, and I want to show you the ships you can get in this game, and it's super fun. Should we try and stand at the foot of this mast? Wow! Let's see, for example, I've never stood here. These doors are locked. You're not allowed out here. So wait, hang on. Let's have some fun. See, I'm proving this ship is wheelchair accessible. Kind of. Anyway, let's climb up the mast. There we go. I'm milking it a little bit with my controllers. Hi! Another badass thing about the Ports of Historic Dockyard is you buy the ticket, that lasts you the entire year. You can go as many times as you like. I myself go at least twice a year. So who knows? Maybe you'll bump into old Spammals. I tend to go in May and later on during the end of summertime. It's awesome. Like a classic day out is to go to Portsmouth, check out Hms Victory, Warrior, go on a harbour tour, check out the modern ships that are in dock at the time because it is the home of the Royal Navy. And then we go down to a place called Gosport, a little bit down the road, lovely park area, great donuts, and then you can see ships leaving at Southampton and heading out towards the Isle of Wight and stuff like that. Oh, look at your little rudder! Oh, that is a tiny rudder. People say Titanic had a small rudder. Well, you can shove that up your ass. Look at the size of this rudder. I've got a funny family story. It's not funny by any means. It's just a family story I will never forget. My dad's. Like, my whole family over many generations has been to visit Victory, and the very first time my father went to visit Victory, this door isn't very big, and he banged his head there. So every time we go to visit, we're like, Dad, watch your head. Yeah. He's like, always like, oh, shut up. Like, he will never let it down. But then the last time we went, I mocked him for it, and then I went and banged my head on it. HMS Victory. A first-rate ship of the line. So first-rate ship of the line, what that means, first-rate means basically massive fucking ship. And ship of the line. So it was basically how Nelson won the Battle of Trafalgar was he had a cunning plan. And Baldrick wasn't on board, but he had a cunning plan all the same, because at the time period, a standard form of attack, as far as I'm aware, was the ships would all attack in a straight line. They'd go broadsides to the other ships, and they would shoot at each other, bang, 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 bang. But what Nelson did was he split his line into two columns. And what they ended up doing was, side by side, they surrounded the enemy ship, and they attacked it from both sides at the same time. Like you kind of see in Pirates of the Caribbean World's End. And by doing this, he made the French and Spanish line break into 3 divisions, and they was able to smash them up. There was great loss of life on both sides. There was no way, by no means, a clear win fight. Oh, it's getting dark. That's a sign to hurry the fuck up. Anyway, I hope I haven't bored you with this. I like to try to give a little bit of historical knowledge alongside of a tour. There you are, Victory. Beautiful ship, it freaking is beautiful. Go visit today. Now, before it starts raining, let me say my goodbyes. Look at that, from this distance, look at those swells. That's mental. Look at that ripping into the... That's mental. Anyway, I'm going to stop gushing over this. I forgot to mention, you can also... I think this is the right button. Yeah! You can pick up the ship. Even the sails jiggle. Oh no! She capsized! That's terrible! No! No! Fucking massive wave. Am I ever going to service? Nope. Well, screwed. I'm fucked. Okay, well, I fucked the game up. That's an ending right there. So, this has been the final episode of Magnificent Ships Volume 2. I really hope you've enjoyed this series. I've had an immense pleasure playing it, and thank you so much for providing the copy for review, my good friend, Mr. Developer. At present, as I mentioned in the last episode, there is not a Volume 3 currently in production, but if we encourage him enough, let him know in the comments down below how much you want to see more, what ships you want to see. Maybe we can encourage him to do it. It would be amazing. I'll give him my own suggestions as well. Maybe also suggest additional features you'd like to see implemented into the game. In addition to the ships, like a sinking simulator aspect of it, greater weather controls, mental mode, I don't know. But anyway, it's been a pleasure. I'm so thankful I've been your shepherd, guiding you through this experience, because not many people get to cover this game, so I'm privileged that I did. And on that bombshell, thank you for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everybody!